on Morning Trade Live, we'll get a closer look at the consumer over the next 24 hours when we get earnings from Visa and American Express. So here is a look at the last 12 months for some of these names. Visa, AXP, MasterCard and Capital One. American Express and Capital One are in the green over the last year. Visa and MasterCard, though, are modestly lower. So let's go inside out on some of these credit card stocks. Joining us now is Rebecca Walser, President, Walser Wealth Management. So nice to see you this morning, Rebecca. Just talk us through what we're likely to hear from these guys. I mean, look, as far as the airlines are concerned, as far as the cruise lines are concerned, people are spending, they're booking. What are they going to say here with these credit card companies?
Yeah, I mean, if we start with just Visa, I feel like, they've had 5 years of profitability above 50%. They've outperformed in the last several years swimmingly, really. And so I think the consensus is that we should get 3.14 EPS, 10.69 billion in revenue. And I think that that's a really great starting point. I really see two real threats. I don't know if you've been talking about it, Sam, but the consumer sentiment dropping as it has. So is that ahead of the curve on the spending? Because if that is a barometer that foretells what's coming in the next 6 months or even 3 months, we definitely see some issues. This is the lowest levels that we've really had since 2020 and really since March of 2014 at 84.5, and that's the Consumer Confidence Board, down 9.7 points this month. So Trump basically saying he wants to maybe limit credit cards to 10% for a year, like a moratorium of no more than 10%. The average credit card rate right now in our country is 19.61%. So consumers, if they're having to use credit to pay bills, if they're having to use credit, to your point, to book the cruise, even though they have booked them, we might see some degradation. They're a little bit concerned. And so but to Visa's credit, the one thing that Visa has really done is really looked into the tokenization and the blockchain and the functionality of maintaining their payment processing dominance as these new technologies come online. And I would say that that is where all of these credit card traditional finance companies need to be thinking, Sam, if they're going to have a way forward in the new way that is coming, which is stable coins and digitization of currency.
It's a confusing backdrop. I mean, obviously with the Conference Board's Consumer Sentiment Survey, the biggest drop in 12 years. But then you look at UMich, which was telling us a very different thing. You listened to Powell yesterday, who's upgrading the economy, not so worried about the jobs market right now. But then you hear from the corporates, and they're slashing thousands of jobs. So it's giving us all a hole in the head. So let's see what they have to actually say very much with these numbers and this call. What are the metrics that you're going to be looking out for? I mean, you mentioned some of these stable coins, the tokenization as well. This is obviously a new area that they've been sort of venturing into. They have to, I suppose. Just talk us through that.
Yeah, for Visa, when I talk about they're so far ahead, okay, they have something called VTAP, which is a Visa Tokenized Asset Platform. It's basically the ability on Ethereum potentially for blockchain technologies to be, and stable coins to be transacted as a payment processor through traditional systems. So moving to the blockchain and getting, buy-in from all kinds of companies to say, yeah, you know what, we can actually tokenize and run on Visa's network, their platform. And so that's the kind of thing, the innovation that is going to take what we would consider a traditional financial company in the old system, the fiat system, to digitization and to getting other corporations on a very fast track to accept stablecoins as a payment processor. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking at as innovative and is going to not leave them behind. I'm very concerned in these next 5 years about the banks and not getting left behind, trying to really put regulations on the Clarity Act in the Senate, which made the bill just completely stop, even though the House of Representatives passed it. So they're just trying to keep their old framework on the new technology. And I think that that is a losing proposition. It's not going to work. We need companies like Visa to get with the program and say, how can I still exist in the new digitization of currency, which is stable coins and the blockchain? And so Visa is ahead of it. And that's kind of the example that I would set as a barometer.
Got it. All right. Well, all our credit card names are trading higher this morning ahead of some of these earnings. So we'll be watching. Rebecca, always appreciate it. Thanks so much for the preview. Rebecca Walser there, President, Walser Wealth Management. Let's trade.